What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a review on the Inart 112 Dark Knight Rises figure. I was able to get this from Japan at the Ami store in Akihabara. So you guys can see right there, the Ami sticker. I was definitely not expecting to find this. This was definitely one of the figures that was high up on my list, and when I saw it, I knew I had to pick it up. So interestingly enough, this is actually the deluxe version, but you would not be able to tell. Even in the box, right, there's no real kind of insignia that this is even the Batman figure. But as you kind of look, you do see deluxe version right here. On the back, you do get some... now this is where you do see it here, the Dark Knight Rises 112 collectible figure deluxe version, and I think that oh, here you go, yeah, there you go, Batman the Dark Knight Rises. So pretty straightforward, pretty standard, honestly. Again, very inconspicuous. You would not know what this was unless you really read it. So how I knew that this was the figure was, it actually at Ami they had like a picture of the figure itself, and that was kind of how you knew. So pretty much the box was standing up just like this, and they had a little like thing taped to the box. So pretty cool. So with that being said, let's get into it. The box inside a box. They must really love the Inception Christopher Nolan theme, because here you go. This is the actual box. So let me just raise up the camera so you guys can see. So here you go. So this is the box that I've been seeing online. Here you go. You see Batman the Dark Knight Rises 112 collectible figure Inart branding. Here we go. Finally get the logo. Dark Knight Trilogy deluxe version. Just some information on the back. There we go. And then last but not least, Dark Knight Trilogy. So this is what I was looking for. I was very surprised that it came in like this, but I do like the attention to detail and that they make it secure. All right, so this is how the packaging, well, the figure is packaged, I should say. So you do get a bunch of accessories right here, and at the bottom it is taped, but you do get the stand and the base. So pretty cool. So let's take this out. So just kind of pulled apart the thingies, and you do see, oh, it gives you like a table of contents, which is crazy. Yeah, really cool. It tells you left fist, right fist, open palm. So it's really cool. Again, this really amazes me with like just how much detail they go into. To tell you like how you can articulate it. So you got to lift up the shoulder armor before you use a bicep swivel. You got to handle it with care. So it's really cool. This really goes into a lot of detail. Even tells you how to, change the face plates and whatnot, and put it on the stand. And then here's information on like removing the chest armor. It's magnetic. You have the cape and the gun, and yeah, really cool. I like that. So this is how the figure looks when you take it right out of the packaging. Again, you do see that nice Batman head sculpt. I really like the way it feels. You do get the different textures. The gold on the utility belt looks really good. There you go, looks perfectly. You got all the little minor details, which really makes it stand out. So it's definitely a cool looking figure. I'm gonna remove these, but then I'll go into the accessories. So I was able to remove the plastic, so let's get into the many accessories. I feel like I need tweezers for this. Starting off with the alternative face plates, you do get a kind of like a stern looking face. Again, same thing right here. Sorry if the focus is not focusing. There's really not much of a difference between the two. Maybe he might have a little bit more of like a 5 o'clock shadow. That might be the only difference. And then this is the other one. So it's interesting to note that there's not really an angry one. These are pretty much two identical. I don't know if they're meant to be identical. Even kind of looking at it as they stand, or as they sit next to each other in the packaging, they're pretty much damn near identical. So I don't know if they're meant to be like replacements of each other. But that was interesting. I'll get this standing back up again. Do that because I actually got stuck. So these are actually covered in tape. So there you go. You get the two different style batarangs right there. Out of the packaging, he has the two fisted hands. As we can see, he does have two open, like relaxed hands, if you will, or like I don't know, this is, maybe it could be like fighting poses or something. And it's interesting to note that he, even on the knuckles, it's like a little detail, almost as if he has like kind of like knuckle dusters. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if that's in the movie, but if that is, I mean, that's a crazy detail. I don't think any company for the most part has done. He does come with two grabby hands. Well, this is actually, one of them is a trigger. I wonder if this is for, well, it looks like a trigger. This might be for a batarang, and this is definitely like a more grab hand. So that's pretty cool. He does have two sets of like relaxed hands. So these are really more relaxed. So if he's kind of like standing at his side or just in a neutral pose, there you go. Next up, he does have a trigger finger hand. I guess this is for his other accessory. This definitely feel, or maybe more for like his grappling gun or something. And then this one I feel is definitely more for the batarang, with how his hands are sculpted. Last up for the hands, he does come with two right trigger hands, which is crazy. They're both the same almost. I wonder if these are supposed to be for the grappling gun and his EMP gun. I don't know if there's just two of the same, but yeah, these are pretty much identical. Speaking of the EMP gun, this is how it looks right here. Got that blue translucent color in the front, and then of course you do get the different gauges, or you know, for like the shells, I guess. You do get the grappling gun here. You go. You do see like two prongs. I don't believe there is like an actual grapple that he comes with, but that'd be cool. It'd be nice if you could use something like from like the Mayfix Batmans to port in there. But yeah, that's cool. Was always my personal favorite was the gun that he used for like the sticky grenades in the Dark Knight movie. That's really cool. It'd be cool if this could like retract, but it doesn't, and I don't want to break it. It seems pretty fragile. Next up is probably the star of the figure, and why this is so sought after and so cool, is the unmasked Bruce Wayne Christian Bale head sculpt. This looks damn near exactly like him. So for this to be a 1/12 scale figure with this detail is nuts. Look at that. Even like the shading and everything, it looks spot on. This looks like, this is a mini Hot Toys. So this is really amazing. This is definitely one of the things that really made me gravitate to it. I don't even think I would use it for the figure, but just knowing that you have that option is great. And he also does come with his cape. It's put nicely in this little plastic. I'll show that out a little bit later. So getting into the articulation. So again, I do want to be careful not to mess up the figure, but he does have nice articulation in the neck. Going up seems no problem. Going down, not a problem at all. Again, to kind of move the shoulders or the bicep swivel, it was mentioned to kind of move these out of the way. And I should probably read it, honestly, but there you go. So you can get up, and like, this feels great. This little material is textured. I like that nothing really is hindering the articulation. There you go. You just push it up. Go, and then the bicep. bicep. That's a new one. Bicep. Oh, I think there is a bicep. Oh yeah. It's just tucked away. I think there's a bicep. Let me double check. I think, let me adjust the camera too. So interestingly enough, it does say that he does have a bicep swivel. I don't know if maybe mine is just tight because, you know, I did just take it out of the packaging. I'm a little bit hesitant. Oh, there you go. That's how you pull it out too, to kind of help with articulation. So you got to pull it out and then you move up. You guys can see it's actually attached to the arm itself. So yeah. Oh, there you go. Yep, I figured that was the bicep. So it's probably just a little tight. You know, I'll try it on this side too, just in case. Yeah. So you do see it swiveling. I honestly would probably put like shock oil just to help with the articulation, make sure nothing gets snagged or anything like that. And then for the elbow, it does have a nice double jointed elbow. And then for the wrist, I think this is this style of kind of like Mayfax. I could be wrong. This looks to be the case. Let me check. It doesn't say. It just says it could be lifted back. Yeah. Maybe it was another. Oh, here you go. How to change can be swapped onto the corresponding arm. It doesn't really say what the system looks like. I mean, I think, and I kind of do, but I kind of don't want to try it. Oh, damn. Almost sweating for a little bit. There you go. That's what it looks like. So yeah, and that's felt really good. Wow, that's smooth as hell. Unlike, you know, SHF where you have to kind of worry about it and it's a peg, but this one came in just fine. Again, you know, I'd be cautious about articulating things first, but that looks really good. Doing the chest, you do get some nice articulation. It is a little bit hindered going back, just due to the nature of the sculpt, but there you go. Kind of see like there's like two different parts that are working together for articulation. And then of course you do get this waist piece, which helps. And of course, for the legs, you do go up there, you go out, it goes out. I don't think this has a drop down. It kind of feels like it does, but I don't think it does. I don't want to risk it too much. There you go. That's how much it goes out. And then for the knees, there you go. It's about a little more than 45, I would say. I like that you see the different parts moving, so that's really cool. This really looks amazing. And then he does have a thigh swivel. Again, it might just be mine because, you know, how new it is. But you do get a nice ankle articulation, pivot, toe joint. Yeah, all in all, like with just like how it looks, how it moves, this looks great. This is honestly such an amazing looking figure. I've never had a Dark Knight figure before. I know like Mayfax has done some SHF, but I know like a lot of them aren't really as great, you know what I mean? Like they all leave something to be desired. So this was, when I saw this one, I was like, ooh, this is definitely like the one to have. And this one of course doesn't ship to the US, so I was very fortunate to be able to get this in Japan. I tried pre-ordering it when it first dropped. Probably sold out from my experience within like the first 5 minutes, but let me try to attach the cape and then we'll give you guys my final thoughts. So after a little bit of trouble, I was able to get it on there, and this is how it looks. So you do get the nice ruffles. You can still move it out of the way. I don't know if I did it weird, but like I feel like it doesn't look that great. You kind of get them like when you try to put it out. Maybe it was just me and how I put it in. But it looks better draped to the back. I think that's naturally with the folds and the ruffles on it. That's how it's supposed to look. But yeah, all in all, this looks like a great figure. I'm very, very pleased with it. You know, this is such a cool figure. There you go. I'd probably do something better with like the posing and stuff. But yeah, all in all, my final thoughts are that this is a really good figure. Again, this is pretty rare to find. If you can find it, I do recommend it. I never got into pricing, but I was able to pick this up in Ami for about 80 bucks, give or take, which is a great deal. I kind of looked online and people reselling this deluxe version for about 140 or so, 130, 140. So, you know, take that as you will, but all in all, I do recommend it if you are looking for a very good Dark Knight figure. I think this is the one. My only gripes with this would be that there is no wire on the cape, and because this is, you know, such a rare figure, like not something that you could easily replace. I do kind of worry about, you know, how it's going to hold up, meaning like articulating it over long periods of time. This might be something where you might want to just display it. You know what I mean? I know that it is meant to articulate, but just, you know, for my mental well-being, I probably would just kind of keep it somewhere, maybe, you know, use it for photography every once in a while, things like that. But all in all, this is definitely a great figure. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Peace.